Okay, this is going to be an issue. Um, all right, we're going to have to make some adjustments because we're off to a late start. So bear with me, folks. We're going to make some adjustments to the stream. Give me a second. We're going to go live here in a second. Okay, I'm hoping that works. Hello, folks. I'm sorry we're off to a late start, and welcome to Palm Bay Live. Hopefully, we're live on Facebook. I'm going to check it right now. Let's see, make sure this is working properly before we start. I apologize for the late start, but we had some technical difficulties. Okay, so we are working on Facebook. So we're good to go. We are good to go. And again, I apologize for the late start, but we had some technical difficulties that we had to iron out. And we are ready to go. And tonight I am live with Michael Barrett, and he's going to be our candidate tonight, our first Palm Bay City Council candidate that we're going to be interviewing. And so, right now, what I want you to do is smack that like button, share this video across the social media platforms, everywhere and anywhere that you can. Get the word out that Michael Barrett is here with me tonight, and you can call in live and ask and post questions to him in a real time format. Also, so I need you to do that for me right now. So if you can, go to your phone, hit the share button and share it to many friends and family as much as possible. Before I get started tonight, though, I'm like to introduce to you Jeff, who is with a company called 3LP Roofing, and he is going to talk about his business. And I'm doing this as a courtesy to businesses who are in the Palm Bay area and beyond, who are looking to pretty much up their business, and they need some extra word of mouth to help garner business for them. So Jeff, I'm going to bring you on the platform. How are you doing, sir?
Doing excellent, Kevin. Yourself?
Awesome. I'm doing excellent as well. So Jeff, I'm going to share the screen with your business location, and I'm going to give you the 2 minutes that I'm going to allot to you to go ahead and talk about your business. And I'm going to remove myself from the screen so I can get some stuff going here in the back end. Go ahead and tell the audience about your company and why they should do business with you.
Okay. We are 3LP Roofing, otherwise known as Three Little Pigs Roofing. We are only about 16, 17 months old. Started the company last year because I saw something lacking in the roofing industry in our area. My wife has been an insurance agent for the last 15, 18 years. And honestly, roofing has kind of crushed the insurance industry. With some of the previous roofers I worked at, I was a kind of a part of that and kind of saw the downfall. and some of the problems that what roofing was doing to insurance, the insurance market, what it was doing to homeowners, and the longevity of the roofs, and different aspects like that. And there were just things and deficiencies that I saw that I felt that could be done differently, could be done better, and a lot of missing education. That could be done within the community to help us understand how we proceed through certain situations, how to handle them, and what's best for the long run for all of us, especially as a community. We are a family-run business. Just because we are a younger business doesn't mean that any of us are new. I've been in roofing for the last 8 years. All of my guys that work for me have been in roofing for a long while as well. Being local, we are huge into giving back to our community. Back in February, we actually gifted a roof to a Palm Bay family. We actually did a nomination on Facebook and let the community nominate some people. We narrowed it down to 5, and then we let the community again vote on those stories. So if you go to our Facebook page, I think back in May is when we did a video, May or June, we did a video of that whole situation. But our biggest goal is just to inform, just to help the community understand if you have a claim or what's going on with my roof, or just helping them understand. I also own a home inspection business, 323 Home Inspections, and we just do insurance inspections. So we've got a lot of active relationships with a lot of local insurance, especially Palm Bay insurance agents. And through that, we've just been working to educate the community, help people understand how to proceed through certain situations, when and when not to file a claim, et cetera. So we really feel that education is a big thing. And for us, it's not all about sales. It's more about building that confidence and that trust within the community. Because ultimately, once that trust is there, then everything else will fall into place, and we'll all be better off for it. Because as homeowners here in this area, it's vital that we bring some sense of normalcy to the roofing aspect, and as well as the insurance aspect, homeowners insurance aspect of things.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, Jeff. And so the number is there on the screen. His website is there. Feel free to reach out to him. And if there's any other business in the area that needs this kind of spotlight, let me know. I'll be doing interviews all the way through the second week of August. So you have, you just reach out to me, Kevin at palmbaylive.com. Send me an email. And if I, pitch yourself and let me know exactly what type of business is that you do. And if I see that is worthy, I will bring you onto the platform, and you will have the time to just basically talk about your business. So or you can send me a 1-minute video, commercial video, and MP4 format, Kevin at palmbaylive.com, and we will distribute it that way as well. All right. Thank you so much, Jeff. Thanks for joining us. And have yourself a great night, sir. Hopefully you can stay for the interview and
Will
watch
do.
it, and pose any questions you may have of the candidate.
Sounds good. Thank you, Kevin.
All righty. Thank you. So, Michael, you're here, sir. We're off to a late start, but you are here with us, and I thank you for agreeing to join me for this interview. And
Anytime, Kevin.
hope
Any
all is well with you today. I know we ran late today, but Michael, thank you again for joining. Again, audience, I need your help. We need to get the word out. Please hit the like button, smack the like button, hit the share button. If you're watching me on YouTube, smack the like button, help the algorithm so the message can go out. And also, if you're on Facebook, share, 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 like and share, please. I'm begging you. Hit the like button, hit the share button, and let's get this interview on the way. So
please.
Michael Barrett is with me tonight. He is running for City Council seat 3. All right, City Council seat 3. And so, Michael, I'm going to give you a minute or two here to introduce yourself to the audience. Introduce yourself to the audience and let the audience know who you are and what you are about.
Well, my name is Michael J. Bruyette, and I'm a working man. I'm a concerned citizen just like everybody else. I've sat around and just watched this council destroy this city, and it sickens me. I just, the decided I'm going to run, and I have a whole lot of ideas. I have a long agenda if given this seat, and I don't plan on moving out of the way for anybody. I have no personal interest, so you never have to worry about me taking money from anyone. And there are people. So, any
So
questions,
that
I'd love to field them.
okay. All right. So let's get right into the interview, Michael. Let's get right into the interview. And so, audience, how this works, and if you're new to Palm Bay Live, you can post questions in the chat in real time. And also tonight, we're introducing a number for you to call into the show live, and speak to the candidate that's running for office. So that's a new format that we're introducing during this election cycle, is that you're going to have the ability to call in live during the show and voice your question directly to the candidate. So we're going to have that kind of interaction. So get ready to get that number here shortly. Let's get into the questions, Michael. Michael,
Sure.
looking at your platform, and one of the things that really stand out to me was you said that you want to protect motorcycles' right. What is that about? Motorcyclists' right. Can you
Well,
enlighten the audience?
motorcyclists get game,
Yeah.
but I've been a member of Hog now for a couple years. A lot of the kids on bikes, I can't speak for them because just crazy on bikes. But most of the generation that I'm from, older people, I mean, they get harassed on the side of the road because of a lot of these kids, and I just don't like that, because we're just like anybody else. I mean, the youth has gone wild, which we've all been there. I just want to see people treated fairly on the road.
Okay. All right, Michael, the elephant in the room. You know what I'm going to
Okay,
ask. You know
I
what
know
I'm
where
going to
you're going.
All right. And it has to be asked. And I'm pretty sure every journalist would be doing a disservice if we don't pose this question. Okay. You have a criminal background.
Sure.
Okay.
Yes,
And
I do.
how do you
I do.
think this impacts public perception? And what steps have you taken to move forward? And how do you think your experiences can help effectively manage our community?
Well, I have a lot of years of experience dealing with criminals. I know how to combat a crime. I can suggest a lot of things that we do. But my agenda moving forward, if I get this seat, is I want to add 40 more officers, and I want an auxiliary station in that Bayside compound area where there seems to be a lot of crime. Nearly 40 years ago, you're not going to hear what actually happened. All you're going to hear is the prosecution's version through the news. I never went to trial. I stepped up and I owned this. I was defending a woman who was being repeatedly raped and beaten. Okay? And I want to tell the public, just think, if I fought that hard to defend a woman from all that abuse and paid the price that I did, just think of how hard I'm going to fight for every citizen in this city. It's something to think about. I'm very passionate about Palm Bay. I love this city. It's been great to me since I've moved here back in 2009. And I'm sickened at how everything's going here in the city. I mean, we're growing at a rapid rate, but we're growing the wrong way. These developers, they're just throwing house after house after house up with no resources. And I mean, when you get down to brass taxes, I don't think that they're doing enough for Palm Bay.
Okay,
They're getting richer on Palm Bay.
we're gonna address some of those concerns. We're gonna ask some questions regarding those. So let's keep it moving. My next line of question is on sustainable growth. With um, with Palm Bay, with Palm Bay, uh, rapid growth. The city just hit 140,000 residents. I'm not sure if you're aware of that. And
Oh,
how do you plan to ensure that in the infrastructure, the development, keeps pace and remains sustainable, addressing
well,
issues like road widening, right? New traffic lights, stormwater management, those kind of things. There's also debate in the community about adjusting impact fees to better account for the increased demand for infrastructure and services. Are you open to this idea?
I'm open to anything that will pay for our infrastructure. And where I want to go with this, I just don't know. It all depends on who ends up in those seats and who can be worked with, who will go along with me on some of my ideas. Impact fees are big when it comes to imposing them on these builders. I don't think enough has been imposed on these residential builders that have just been booming Palm Bay. We need more commercial. That's what we need. Normally, commercial stands at 20% in just about any city. Our commercial is way below that. Now, let me pose the question to the people out there. Where do you go for entertainment? It's not Palm Bay. You leave Palm Bay a lot. Where do your kids go to play sports after the I-9 League? Most of them go to West Melbourne because why? It's free. We need a Boys and Girls Club of America, a nonprofit organization, to come in here for our kids, because I don't see that we do enough recreational wise with the facilities that we have for these kids. A Boys and Girls Club would absolutely provide free sports, free entry level vocations. I know I grew up in one. This is what these kids need, especially the at-risk youth out there that have a one-parent home. Some of them, the parents are completely empty, and these children have no guidance. They need a place to go. And then there's some Christian organizations that have started up here in Palm Bay, but can't get help from the city. And that's a shame, because these people really do want to help the children.
Okay. All right. And the calls are already coming in. I guess they got the number from the first show that we did tonight. So calls are coming in. So caller, the individual that just called, I apologize for having you on hold for that long, but you can call back. You can call back. Let's field some questions from the audience. And so we're gonna go with he says, Pete the handyman, what will you do to get our main roads to 4 lanes?
Well, I mean, impact fees are big. I don't think we're imposing enough on these builders. We need to increase those impact fees so that we can start doing a lot of stuff. Now, the main roads that you want widened, from my understanding, is a county project, but we can help here.
Okay. All right, let's go to Joe. Would you charge extra if you found more than one layer? Okay, I'm gonna take that off the screen. I'm not sure where that is going. um, Richard,
I
here
think
we
that's
go.
for the roofing contractor.
It answered. I'm trying really hard to get YMCA Boys Girls Club here. How do you feel about that? You just answered it. Okay. Um,
Michael, I'm with you all the way.
okay. So you just answered that question. All right, let's keep going. Um, there is a Florida law that mandates shifting from septic to sewer systems, as you're aware of. By
Yes. Um,
2030, Palm Bay
I'm
has allocated, hold on one second. Palm Bay has allocated $420,000 from the opera funds to assist low-income households with this transition through a first eligible, first served program. What are your overall thoughts on the septic to sewer program?
well. I'm all for providing city water and city sewage. Okay. What I'm not, I don't want the people carrying the burden of having to pay this. I get the whole low income help, but you're not going to help middle income. And if you're not going to do that, I just can't. I don't want to flip that cost to the taxpayers. I don't want to do that. You know, I think a long time ago they should have imposed this on the builder. Okay, they should have had a right on the impact fee, that if in fact when city and sewerage came to that area, the builder would have to flip the cost. They never did that. They never covered themselves.
Okay. All right. Caller, can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. Go ahead and pose your
Can you?
question.
No, it wasn't a question, just something that I wanted to state. So I've spoken to this man in great length, and I love the visions that he has for Palm Bay. What I have a problem is how people always bring up the past, because honestly, if I had this man who defended this woman who was raped, he killed, he did what he had to do, and then he spent all his life doing the right thing, but yet people take that and, like, I'm just so shocking how people use that as like some kind of excuse not to give this man another chance. For me personally, I would love to have him on my side, trying to fight my battles, because if I know that if a man is like that, I know that the Palm Bay is in safe hands. And it's been a long time since we had someone with his passion to want to do good things for this Palm Bay. I like the fact that he's like you and me, and like a concerned citizen. All the rest have appeared to be typical politicians, but with Mike, seems down to earth, and it seems so transparent. So I just feel like people out there should just have open eyes, open ears. You know, I feel like if you want someone to stand up for the unheard voices within our great city and hold people accountable, why not give this man a chance?
Okay. Thanks for your contribution to the show tonight, caller. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much for that.
Appreciate that.
All righty. Have a good
Thank
night.
you.
All
You
right.
too.
All right. So let's keep it going. What measures would you implement to ensure that developers pay their fair share of impact fees, and how would you use these funds to improve community infrastructure?
I think there has to be a build-in on their license to build, their permits. There's got We have to look at this more in length. And whoever takes these seats, we have to get together and we have to come up with a way to ensure that they are going to help. Whether it's imposing all these costs on the impact fees, or it's a contractual thing with the city. We need to find a way to get this infrastructure done. And my ears are open to anyone else on this council if I get the seat. This is a big, big thing with Palm Bay. The infrastructure is just completely fallen.
Okay. All right, sir. Let's keep it going. Housing affordability. All right. With the
Yes.
ongoing demand for housing and rising prices, how do you plan to address housing affordability in Palm Bay to ensure that residents have access to affordable housing options? Palm Bay's 2045 comprehensive plan highlights affordable housing as a significant focus. with initiatives like allowing accessory dwelling units and incentivizing density. There's also been some chatter about additional property taxes for non residential property owners. What do you think about these ideas? And what specific policies will you champion to ensure affordable housing is developed effectively in Palm Bay?
Well, the First Time Home Buyers Club, have you heard of it here in Palm Bay?
No,
You haven't.
no.
Well, Palm Bay had a First Time Home Buyers Club, and my understanding we still do. You just don't hear about it. Um, and it's a shame because my kids, your kids, they're never going to know about it if they don't hear about it, and they're never going to be able to buy their first home with the assistance of the city. There's another issue to be sitting down with everybody to figure out some way to accommodate low income, middle income. I mean, the prices I know need to come down. Heck, I work a lot of hours just to sustain what I have. So I can only imagine that everybody else is doing the same. We just have to come up with some solutions. And the ones that are in place right now, I don't think are working.
Okay. All right. 3% cap.
Can't say I can't give a definite answer on something that I feel that it should be a collaborative.
Okay. All right. 3% cap. For the limits.
3% cap. Okay.
Hold on for the question. Florida limits the annual increase in assessed property values for homes with homestead exemption to 3%, right?
Right.
The percentage change in consumer price index, whichever is lower, given the cap, how do you propose Palm Bay can effectively balance the stable property taxes with the rising cost of living and city services? And what measures would you suggest to ensure the city can fund essential services and infrastructure improvements while adhering to this limitation?
Okay. For one, this 3% cap was imposed by Councilman Bailey when he was in. This, I don't know how he got it on the referendum and got a vote, but this was a state legislative decision that should have been made, not a city. It can be repealed. I'm all for repealing it and starting over because, again, I do not want to see the taxpayers burdened. And again, that's something to sit down at the table with whoever gets in and discuss this because something's got to be done. We all know this.
Okay. All right. In fiscal year 2024, there was a 3% pay increase for general employee groups with a proposed 5% increase in fiscal year 2025. How do you plan to balance these pay increases with the city's budgetary constraints while ensuring that we retain and attract qualified personnel? Do you believe these increases are sufficient to stay competitive with other similar sized cities?
Being a former employee of Palm Bay, I want to say that I'm all for the increases. I do know that our city does work hard, and I don't believe that they're given the resources. I don't know the whole budget, so I really can't sit here and say what I would do personally on this issue. but I can tell you that going into this seat, I'm going to want to know everything within the first couple of weeks. And I'm one to put everything down on paper. I put all my ideas down on paper. And if I sit around others, we can come up with something.
Okay. Taxes are a significant concern for many residents. How do you propose to balance the need for revenue with the desire to keep taxes manageable for homeowners and businesses?
Say that again, please.
Sure, taxes are a significant concern for many residents. How do you propose to balance the need for revenue with the desire to keep taxes manageable for homeowners and residents?
Oh, good question.
Mhm.
uh, you might have stumped me on that one. I haven't thought too much about that one, Kevin.
Okay, we can
I've,
pass on it,
I've got
and we
some
can,
real hard issues, and I've got some that I haven't really even touched on yet.
yeah, you can, if you want, you can send me your written response, and I will post it in the
Absolutely, because
so
now you've got me. Now
yeah,
you've got me thinking.
yes, sir. All right. The city has maintained a maximum of 4% in stabilization funds. Given the ongoing and proposed workforce expansions and pay increases, how do you plan to maintain or adjust the stabilization fund to ensure the city's financial health remains robust?
Okay, there. At this point in time, I do not believe that we should be adding more employees. I think we should be focused more on supplying them the materials to do the jobs that they need to do. I just think that putting that much money out to hire employees is a lot more expensive than giving them the materials to do the jobs at this point in time.
Okay. All right, sir. Let's keep it going. The city, at one point, somebody on the dais, let's put it this way, considered a moratorium on self storage units, car washes, in order to manage growth effectively. What is your position on this proposed moratorium, and how do you balance property rights with the need to manage growth and ensure economic development?
I didn't quite hear you. It broke up here.
You didn't hear the question?
No, it kind of broke up on me, Kevin.
Okay, let me repeat it. The city was considering, or somebody was considering, a proposed moratorium on self storage units and car washes. What are your thoughts on it? So I don't have to repeat the question. What are your thoughts on it overall, on a moratorium on those businesses?
I think smart business should be a factor. Um, Again, I haven't really taken a look at any of this, and I'm more so for taking the tax burden off the citizens. And the moratorium was a low-paying jobs and not a big impact, right?
Your views. I can't opine. I don't opine on these questions. So is
Yeah.
your straight from your mouth what your views on it is, and we'll take it from there. Oh, audience, please remember you can also ask questions to the candidate. So you can pose your questions in
Yeah.
the comments, and I'll bring them on the screen. And you can also choose to call the call into the show by calling this number and post questions there as well. And I will take the call live while we're making these discussions. All right. All right. So we can move on from that question, right? Road bond. I don't know if you're aware, but I was behind one of the persons that was behind this road bond thing when it was coming to a fruition. And so we did an investigation and we found that there is a shortfall. So I did an article a couple of months ago on this. I don't know if you're aware, but it's on my website, palmbaylive.com. And we found that there's a shortfall. And so, how do you propose to manage and close the funding gap without overburdening taxpayers?
Oh, good question.
Mhm.
Uh, Road bond is almost out of money, but halfway done. Christ, you're hitting me with some pretty good questions here, Kevin. I'm not your
Okay.
typical politician, and I haven't explored every subject yet.
Mhm.
Rest assured, I will.
Okay, sir. Well, you can always uh, come back later and opine by say if you want to go back and review the video and the questions that you
Oh
didn't
yeah,
answer.
I'm writing my notes down right here
Okay, you
because
can
I
always go
understand I'm
back.
looking at every one of them.
Yeah, you can send me a response later on. Okay, let me see if I can get you some easy questions. And anytime you come across a question you can answer, Michael, you can just say pass. I will pass this for another time. Okay, so
Yeah,
to move it along.
sure.
All right. So let me give you an easy one. Trash collections. Are you happy with Republic Services right now? Do you think the city
No.
on from Republic Services?
Um, I don't think they should have ever switched services.
Okay, so that's your
The
opinion.
prices went, the price went up. Republic charges a lot more. And just recently, I've had a barrel destroyed by one of the drivers, and they still haven't replaced it. I mean, I'm not happy with the service personally.
All right. Let me see if I can give you another easy question, Michael. Um, let's talk about homelessness. What are your views? Do you believe that Palm Bay has a homelessness problem? And how would you
We do.
tackle it?
We do. We
All right.
do. And we have a major homeless problem,
Mm-hmm.
and some needs to be done. We need to try and open some sort of shelters that are going to provide housing to get them on their feet, a place, just a place to stay until they can get a job and get on their feet. Don't know how we're going to do it, but it's a problem that we should look deep into.
Okay. Crime and public safety. Just today, before I get on the air, I saw a press release came to my inbox from the city of Palm Bay Police Department in regards to the young lady, 16 years old, killed her mom and the mom's boyfriend. Um, Crime is getting out of hand. And I mean, those situations, we consider them to be domestic, right? Um, how do you propose or what plans would you put in place in order to tackle crime in the city of Palm Bay? We have had a string of issues over the last couple of months. Um, and hats off to our police department. I'm all for the police, and I
Hard
say,
work,
and I pray for them every
work
day. I include them in my prayers, and I hats off to them for they're doing a terrific job trying to keep up with everything that's going on in our city. But
we do
you,
have a great police. We do have great police officers here.
yes, we
I
do.
just think that they're overworked,
Right.
and we need to add more officers on here. We do need to add auxiliary stations here in Palm Bay. Like
Okay.
I said earlier, we need one in that Bayside compound area. We've had a
Okay.
lot of crime out
That's a
there.
question that I had for you too. So I'm glad you mentioned that. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I mean, these officers work hard, and sometimes they work too much.
Hmm.
We need more help. We at least need to get 40 more into recruiting right now. We need this.
All right. Um, Question for you. Um, with the rising of the crime situation and given all the concerns, all right, how are you going to keep pace with the salary of the officers? What proposal will you bring to the table? As you may aware, the Melbourne just recently increased the salary for their officers, so now they're attracting new recruits because of the fact that they're paying more. They're the ones that's leading in Brevard County now as far as how much they're paying their police officers. Palm Bay was just recently the one, but now Melbourne is topping it all. So how are we going to manage this so we can keep pace with what's going on in the other communities and ensuring that we retain our police officers? What proposal will you
Well,
bring to the table?
I don't know what I can do to, other than going on record and saying I think they deserve more pay with what they do. Um, I'd have to sit down with other council members, and I think everything lies in impact fees here in Palm Bay. This is my idea. We need more commercial, whereas we can raise the impact fees to pay for a lot of these things. But that again is something that I'm going to have to be able to work with other council members with. I have ideas. Will they go over with other members? I don't know. I'm hoping so.
Well, Michael, can I hear some of those ideas? Can I challenge you to share some of those ideas with the community?
All my ideas are in impact fees. Bringing in more commercial. We need to supply resources for all the housing going in. We need to supply entertainment. So therefore, we need to start recruiting commercial businesses for entertainment, not just for adults, for kids. And I think that's where all of our money is going to come in, is these impact fees on commercial businesses coming in here. And again, we just need to reach out. Okay, I'm gonna reach back on one of the ideas that came across the council in past years. Disney wanted to come here. Okay, they came in here, they offered everything, but they were voted down 3 times. Why would you deny a commercial business like Disney to come in here for entertainment purposes and then offer everything? Assistance with public safety, assistance with infrastructure. Why was that passed up? I think a lot of this stuff needs to be revisited.
But if the business moved on to other venues, it can be revisited, right? At this point in time. So we're gonna have to
be revisited.
Huh?
Because we have plenty space here. I'm sorry.
I was talking more of the line of Disney itself. I mean, right now we can't. I mean, I don't know if we can reapproach them, but how would you attract? What would you do as an individual councilman to go out? What would you do to attract new businesses?
Good question. I mean, at this point, I'm new to the politic world. And believe me, I would sit down with a directory and call every commercial business, and try and bring them here. I mean, I'm willing to try anything just to get commercial here.
Yeah. All right, sir, the compound. Let's talk about the compound. We kind of touched on it earlier, but the compound has become the dumping site for bodies over the last couple of years. We've seen the articles, we read, and we've seen the news stories out there. So recently, the plans were put into place to develop the the compound into a park, right?
Right.
What are your thoughts on that? And I don't know where it is in the stages, if that's has stopped. But I need to follow up on that personally. But what is your stance on the future development of the compound? Should the city just go in and take it over? I mean, what are your thoughts?
Well, I think the city should probably think about buying out private lots to expand room out there to put parks in there. I mean, think about it. You have people that go out there and they ride dirt bikes, four wheelers, all that. What along the lines would give them entertainment by publicly opening up a park such as, motocross or anything like this? Now you see these kids out there. They go up there and they stunt ride on their motorcycles. And what about giving all these people a venue like that up there? That would be my idea. Uh, And in that venue, you sign a waiver. Okay, they stunt right over at Harley Davidson, but these kids are made to sign a waiver. If you get hurt, it is not the responsibility. And the city could do the same thing. I mean, I believe we need an auxiliary station up there still, because let's face it, if you have the presence of police up there, okay, you have an auxiliary station up there, criminals are going to think twice about dumping these bodies that you're talking about up there. You understand?
Yep.
Presence. That's it.
All right, sir. All right. Well, let's hope somebody's listening. Those are your thoughts. Let's keep it moving. Road management, with a rapid development in Palm Bay, as you're aware, how do you propose to manage the growth effectively to ensure the city's infrastructure and services keep pace with increasing population? Okay, high rises are popping up. You have new uh, residential units popping up all over the place, um, and we are just growing. We're busting at the seams at this point in time. So, your thoughts? I
I've said
mean,
it from the beginning, we're growing the wrong way. Residentially was isn't the answer, because like I going back, you're not giving these people in these areas that they're building resources.
mhm.
They have no stores. That I mean, they just have nothing for entertainment. They have not. We have nothing here.
Okay. All right. Water quality, sir. Residents have raised issues about water quality, especially near Turkey Creek. How do you plan to address and improve water quality in these affected areas?
Oh, I think I used to work for the utilities. Used to work for wastewater water, and back then, back then we had great staffing, people that knew what they were doing. The water quality was so good. We were bottling water. I'd like to get those standards back. How we're going to do it at this point, I don't know.
Hmm.
Um, but it would certainly be something that I would be trying to do.
Okay. We have a caller. Caller, you on the line? Go ahead. Caller, you're alive. Caller, can you hear me? Hello? Caller, can you hear me? I can't hear the caller. Caller, you're live. All right. I'm not sure what's going on. All right. Caller, you can try calling back. All right. Um, the youths are our future, and you have expressed concern about the Boys and Girls Club, and I think you dwell on that a little bit. So, again, just for those who may just be joining us, what specific recreational actions do you want to provide, and how do you plan to implement these initiatives?
Well, I've already taken the initiative to reaching out to the Boys and Girls Club of America. And at this point in time, I know that they're interested in going anywhere. It's just a matter of getting everything down on paper and getting it done.
Okay. All right. We're getting close to the end, sir.
And I know that other councilmen running for other seats have the very same interest that I do.
Mhm.
So I'm hoping to be able to work with these people. I'm hoping to get these things done because we desperately need it for these kids.
Okay. Government transparency is a key pillar of your platform. How will you encourage greater public participation in city governance and decision-making processes?
Well, every vote that I cast, you're going to see why I cast that vote and what best interest were in it for the citizens in Palm Bay. Now, you can go to public record, but it's vague.
Mhm.
It doesn't say, it doesn't tell you why the councilman voted that way and why it benefited the citizens.
Mhm.
I'm going to go on Facebook. I'm going to take a page out of Mr. Trump's book here.
Okay. All right.
Totally transparent, and I want to stay that way.
Right.
I'm not the smartest when it comes to the politics, but I'm a fast learner, and people can't get over on me.
All right. Michael has another question for you. How do you feel about developers who need zoning changes donated to candidates who they need votes from?
Well, I guess you know where their interests are if they're taking money from builders.
Okay, that's your answer. All right. Randy Foster recently resigned from the city council. In light of this, how do you feel about the current charter allowing the city council to appoint someone to fill an unexpected vacancy? Do you plan or do you believe this appointment process should be made by the city council or should be decided by the voters?
No, everything should be decided by the voters. The council shouldn't be making those decisions. Everything should go up for vote. And how I feel about we have people running for city council right now that don't even pay taxes here in Palm Bay. And then we have some that don't even live in Palm Bay.
Right.
You know, I learned my lesson the hard way. Okay. I tried to do the right thing and I paid a very, very stiff price. Okay. But it's a slap in the face to me that these people, they're running for city council and don't even pay taxes here. Then you've got others that don't even live in Palm Bay. What are the authorities doing about this?
Okay.
I'm not a politician, right? But wrong is wrong.
Okay. Well, sir, these are your thoughts. I have no vested interest in those. I have not heard of any such claims that these things are happening. But if you do, I will happily to do a research article on it. So,
You really should.
yeah, okay. So you get
When,
me the
when
information,
you're
and
not a homeowner in Palm Bay, you don't pay taxes to Palm Bay, do you?
I don't answer questions, sir. I'm just here to pose the questions. I don't answer questions. All right. That's how my platform works. I'm just here to pose the questions, and we just go from there. All right, sir. Thanks for being on the platform. I guess these are all the questions. I didn't get any more
Kevin,
phone.
you
But
will be hearing from me soon because I will be doing a lot of research.
yes, sir.
You know,
I hope you do. You hope you
I'm
do.
very passionate. Everything that I want to do is in layman's terms. It's not in legal terms or politician terms, but it's something that I'm a fast learner, Kevin.
All right. So, Michael, you requested that I put a page of your flyer up, and so I'm going to do that right now, and I'm going to give you the stage. So you're going to have a couple minutes here. It's totally up to you. You're going to tell the voters why it is that they should vote for you, and I'm going to put up this page that I created for you, so you can see it, and then the audience can see it, and you feel free to reach out to Michael if you have questions. Make sure you tell them your contact details, how to reach out to you. And if you're accessible on social media, let the audience know that as well so they can
I
post
am
questions.
on Facebook.
Okay, great. So you can tell them all of that. So I'm going to remove myself from the stage, and then you're going to have the stage to tell them why they should vote for you. You have the floor, sir.
Well, you should vote for me because I am not your typical politician. I can learn all the legal jargon if you give me the seat. It's not a problem learning. I'm normal. I'm a citizen just like you, concerned about this city and where it's been heading. I don't have all the answers. I have some of the answers. And just give me a chance. Don't give these others that you have a bad feeling about. You know, the typical politicians that are going to tell you everything that you want to hear. And whereas me, I'm going to tell you whether I can help you or I can't. Okay? It's as simple as that. And I want to help, and I'm going to fight for each and every one of you. As you heard earlier, yes, I do have a felony conviction. And again, think about this. If I fought that hard and paid that kind of price defending a woman, think about how hard I'm going to fight for the citizens of Palm Bay, especially if I feel they're being wronged. I will call people out. I am going to hold people accountable for things that they do, and you will know about it. So just give me that chance. I want to be the one to fight for you. Thank you, Kevin.
Okay, sir. Thank you for being on the platform. Audience, we're going to be doing more interviews in the coming weeks. And next week, we're going to be interviewing Eileen Sepp. She's running for city council. That's going to be at 8 o'clock next week, um, July 16th. And we're going to be interviewing Brian Potters. He's running for a candidate. He's a candidate for deputy, the Brevard County Sheriff Office seat. We have a lot of interviews lined up, and folks are still reaching out to us. If you can go to our Facebook page, you will see the full calendar of upcoming events. I'm going to be interviewing all the way to the second week of August. Remember, if you own a small business in the city of Palm Bay and you want to have a business spotlight on the show while we're doing these interviews, please feel free to reach out to me. Kevin at palmbaylive.com. Kevin at palmbaylive.com. And if you give me your pitch and I receive it and I understand it, I will respond and I will invite you on the platform. Um, that's it. So it was a doubleheader tonight, starting off at 7 p.m. and now ending at 9 p.m. So it's been a long night for me. So I'm gonna get some dinner and prepare myself
Kevin,
for bed.
thank you.
So, Pombe, thank you. And hope to see you next week. Please spread the word. Spread the word. This is one way you can get the word out. And we have begun that process again. I've been doing this now since 2020 in the heights of COVID, and I'm aiming to continue it. So, spread the word about this platform. Like and share. Get the word out. Like and share. If you're on YouTube, get the word out. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/Palm Live. Please help me get the algorithm up. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel and let's grow this platform. Thank you so much. Have a good night, Palm Bay.
Thank you, Kevin.